Best Herod.
Best Herod. All right, I'm just going to tell you guys a nonfiction story.
Into the mic.
So, I'm just going to tell you guys a nonfiction story. So, that person wasn't kidding. You can't see shit up here. My friend Paul was sitting there, I think. He might be in that area. So my nonfiction story is just a story of my life. It's an autobiographical story. And I think it's a really lovely story of hope. I've been on two sides of a pretty contentious realm in American life. And that is Christianity and atheism. I was an atheist until I was about 20, and I became a Christian when I was 20. Those things happen at the same time, the switching thing. Because I was an atheist prior to being a Christian, and I didn't grow up in any sort of cultural Christianity, I tend to think that a lot of the cultural Christianity is bullshit, and I don't buy into it. And so when I see it kind of happening, or when I see people who are being free and kind of being looked upon like, what are you doing? Thinking for yourself, having ideas and opinions. Stop that. That really bothers me, and it makes me really sad, and I try to defend those people. So I went to Gustavus, and Gustavus is a school where it's like kind of a Christian school in name, really only. So there was an atheist club at Gustavus, and the president of this club was in one of my classes, and I got to meet him. His name was Ryan Liebel, and he had this club, and he was telling me about it. I was like, oh, that's neat. You know, that's awesome. You got a little bit of people there. Yeah, we got like 20 members. Oh, cool, whatever. We became friends. And eventually Ryan told me about how he was putting posters up around school, and how those posters were getting ripped down, and people were writing things like, you need to find God, on these posters, and just generally discriminating against my friend and his club. And that really bothered me. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna join his club, and I'm gonna try to be an example of someone who is not a dick. And so I went to his club, and very quickly, I went every week for 2 years. I went there, and I never missed a week after that. My original purpose in going there was, like I said, I wanted to be a good example. Like, you know, not everybody's going to treat you like this. And I wanted to be friends with them, and I wanted to make friends, and I wanted to try to heal something that I thought was an injustice. And so I just went there and I started listening. And it wasn't hard to listen to, because everything, you know, people think that atheism and Christianity is like so inseparably volatile, or like inseparably capable of being together. There's no way you can get along. You just kind of hate each other. No. If you are someone who's capable of thinking and capable of being peaceful and gentle and showing somebody basic kindness, you can get along with anybody. Doesn't matter if they're from the Westboro Baptist Church, or if they're from you know, the LGBTQ movement, and they are the biggest advocate of that. If they are advocating whatever, you can, if you're just patient, kind, humble, and you're willing to be with people, you can love anybody and be with anybody. And so, in this club, 3 months in, I figured out that actually it was some of the Christian leaders, the clubs on campus, the other clubs, like Proclaim, Prepare, these Christian ministry clubs. Some of these leaders were the ones that had been ripping down my friend's club's posters. I was like, you are the very last people that should be doing this. You are the people that should understand that you're supposed to love your enemy. These are your fellow students, not your enemies. and yet you're doing this to them? Are you kidding me? This isn't love. And so I said that at a meeting called the United Leaders Meeting. It's all the different leaders of the Christian clubs would get together once a month and meet and talk about like, hey, how can we do stuff together? I was one of the leaders of a club, and I said, this is fucked up. Like, you guys, this is exactly the opposite of how we should be treating these people. And one of the next day came up and said, you're right. You are totally right. And I am the one that has been doing this. Me and one other, I won't speak for her, but I have been doing this, and I don't know what to do. What should I do? I said, go apologize. So she came to the club. She apologized to them in person, in front of all 30 of them, and said, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't understand, and this is my mistake. I'm very sorry. Can you please forgive me? And they're like, yeah, it was good. From that point forward, people started coming to this club. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. So the next thing that happened is that these people tried Emilia and like a campus judiciary community, like you're on trial by the college, right? The leaders of the Atheist Club were like, no, fuck, that's not what we wanted, what the fuck? And they went to, like, I was like, they were like, what can we do, Adam? I was like, go to her trial, defend her. And so they went, the president and the co-president went to her trial, spoke on behalf of Emilia and defended her, and the charges got dropped. The victim of the crime went and defended the perpetrator because there was apologizing and there was community and talking and being with people. And so I just think that's a really powerful example of how you can disagree, diametrically oppose each other in philosophy and ideas and what we think, and still choose to be human, still choose to be kind, patient, and loving. Doesn't matter who you are.
Good.